Let's continue with 804 and do a few more problems. This question is asking to find the range of the function f of x defined by that integral. So these are kind of tricky. First of all, let's talk domain and range. Domain is the input of a function. It's what gets plugged in. So we're dealing with f of x. So our domain is x. Range is the output. It's the result, the outcome for every input. So once we plug a number in for x, the range is the output, like whatever happens. So in this case, all the values of x represent the input. Notice what we have here. I don't know if you recognize this at all, but that's a semicircle. It's a semicircle with a radius of 3. And the center is right at 0, 0 is the origin. So in this case, notice that the smallest value of x can be -3. The largest value of x can only be +3. It doesn't make any sense to have any number beyond 3. So our domain is -3 to 3. So f of x would represent our range. That's the y values. It's the result. After we plug in a number for x, the range will represent all the possible values that make up the area of our semicircle, because when we plug in a number for x here, we have a definite integral. A definite integral represents the area under a curve. In this case, the area under the curve we're dealing with is a semicircle. So as soon as you plug a number in for x, which is a number in our domain, we're going to calculate this and find an area depending on what the value of x was, starting with -3 and moving this way. So if we plugged in a -2 for x, a -2 would give us the area of this little section right here. So if the domain is -3 to 3, then the range covers the area of the semicircle from when x equals -3 through the area when x equals +3. It's the area of this whole semicircle. So the values of the range will fall between 0, because if x equals -3, then we have no area. We're going nowhere. If you have the same number here and here on a definite integral, I mean, you can integrate that if you want to and figure it out, but you're going to end up with 0 because you're going to subtract the exact same things. So it just means we've gone nowhere. From -3 to +3 means nothing. There's no area. And then if x equals +3, which is the largest value in our domain, it's going to be the area of the entire circle. So the range is going to range from anywhere between 0 and whatever the area of this whole semicircle is. So find the area of a semicircle. It's 1/2 times the pi r squared of area of a circle. In this case, our radius is 3. So our range is going to be from 0 to 9 pi over 2. Okay, let's do another one, almost identical. But now notice the denominator, it's the bottom, is 0 instead of -3. So this is the same problem, except we're only concerned with the area from 0 to 3 in this case. Our domain would be 0 to 3, because this is the smallest number that we can use for x. So it's only the area of the quarter circle here. So our domain is 0 to 3. The range is going to fall again between 0, because if we plug in a 0 right here, meaning we're starting here and we're going nowhere, we end up with 0. And then the highest value of the range is going to be the area of the entire quarter circle, or half of the semicircle. So half of a semicircle, we have area of a semicircle, and then half of that, or a quarter of a circle. And again, the radius is 3. So our range in this case is from 0 to 9 pi over 4.